Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that may or may not be 5 minutes. Today in the news, it's all pretty good for me. First, my fandom knows no bounds this morning as CD Projekt Red drops a plethora of new games on us. In a Twitter thread, the company revealed several new games, all code-named, but with enough details to get the internet pretty interested. Projekt Sirius is a game developed by the Molasses Flood, set in the Witcher universe. Apparently, it's both single-player and multiplayer, and they say it's going to be trying to target a wider audience. Projekt Polaris is a new Witcher trilogy, expanding on the universe of the previous games. Looks like they're trying to plan for 3 games over 6 years, and it looks like they're going to be working on all 3 at the same time, and when they feel like they're ready to deliver on that timeline, they'll drop the first game. The real question for Witcher nerds like me is, are they going to go more Arthurian legend and follow kind of the books, or are they going more towards Japan, which is the vibe that we saw from some of the merch they were making and the comic they released? Or is it something totally different? Are we leaving Geralt and Ciri and, I don't know, maybe following Jesse the Red? They're also working on another Witcher game, Projekt Canis Majoris. No idea about that one. Then there's Project Orion, which is another cyberpunk title, and I don't expect we'll see that for some time since there's a DLC coming out, but that's there. And then the new IP Project Hadar, which I don't think anyone knows anything about except people inside the studio, but I think they started working on it in 2021. In the video they posted as well, they go on to say that all these games are being developed at the same time, and they're moving from the Red engine to the Unreal Engine, and of course they have some studios popping up, one here in the States. All in all, I'm pretty excited for them. CD Projekt took a beat down last year. Admittedly, I think we all watched that happen, and I like seeing them fight back the way they have. And they have so many plans for the future, and honestly, I'm impressed, but I've always been impressed with how hard they work to do stuff, so shout out to more CD Projekt games coming in the future. Speaking of future games that I am very excited for, it's just that kind of day where I'm happy with the games that are coming out soon. The trailer for Dead Space's remake is here. It's beautiful, it's horrifying, it's everything I wanted. This isn't even really a news story. I'm just happy both this and Callisto Protocol are coming out, and my Dead Space fandom is huge. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but it is. I love that franchise, and I'm excited to see both this take from different devs, and then the devs of the original making Callisto Protocol, and then just seeing where it all goes. I'm excited for both. It's my type of gameplay experience. And because it's another week, it's time for your console war update. As you know, if you follow this show, PlayStation and Xbox have been battling it out around the world in courts over the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Last week, we learned PlayStation boss Jim Ryan flew to Brussels to voice his concerns in person about the Xbox takeover to EU regulators. And while he was doing that, Xbox created a website that explains the benefits of owning Activision Blizzard. And I think you'd be surprised to learn that them owning the company actually benefits the gaming industry as a whole and would lead to greater competition in traditional gaming, where Sony and Nintendo will remain the biggest. Which again is really funny to me that the Xbox strategy seems to be, we suck. They go on to include diagrams and infographics about the deal and why it's good for everyone, which is pretty hilarious. Like this one here about the emphasis on positive workplace culture, which might as well just say no more cube crawls at Blizzard. All of it comes down to the fact that Call of Duty, which has always been the #1 bestseller on PlayStation, they're afraid of losing that in the future and how it would be devastating to the console and how Xbox 5-10 years down the line becomes #1. And this whole, Nintendo and PlayStation are bigger is BS kind of thing. And that is why Sony is trying so hard to fight this. But it's also just really funny to see the way that Microsoft has decided to spin this in a, look, we're terrible, we need the help kind of way. It's pretty ridiculous considering it's Microsoft, but here we are. Anyway, this new battle in the console wars will continue for the next few months as regulatory bodies around the world decide on the fate of this deal. And we'll see what they have to say. Speaking of regulatory bodies, that is a terrible, it doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't matter. Speaking of regulatory bodies, Patreon.com/Jesse Cox, where you can hang out with such bodies like Fraggle, Amagu, boy, I hope I got that right, and Randy Link. That is it. Thanks so much. I'll see you all tomorrow for another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News.